Okay, welcome to the last video of this BMI Calculator app. Okay, this video is about how can we get an results, like about a logical thing. And the first two videos about UI development and a little functionality things. So if you have not watched that, just watch those videos and come back. It's a third part. So basically in this video, uh, we are just working on the logic of how do we get this thing. So first we have to get height and width. If you know the formula of BIM, how do we calculate body mass indexes? We take the width divided by sorry, not width, it's a weight divided by height, which should be in the centimeters, into I mean the power of square of it. So it's a good thing that we have to keep our logic and our UI separately. So what we are doing is, so we are creating a file called BMI Calculator brain, which is a class where you are creating a class how the I mean the calculation, or how what the each object should have. So let's create a class. It will have a, we'll name it as a brain, BMI brain. Okay, so this class will have a two things. What do you want to calculate? The first thing we want is weight, which is a double. Okay, or it can be an int. It usually an int, because if you could see here, we are just giving an int. So, and also we want a final int of height. So, and also next thing, we have to make sure we are we have this default constructor where we are telling that it is a required feature, and every time we create an object, we have to pass this two things, that is an height and weight. So we are calling height. Okay, clear. So whenever we are trying to create this, I mean create a object to this class, so we will call this constructor where we have to pass two things, that is weight and height. How can we get this? Usually we already have a property for this which is holding up two variables, that is height and weight. So using that we can get a height and weight. If you want, I can just show you how we are getting it. So I'll go back to the main home screen. So in home screen, the moment when I click on this gesture detector, when I click or on tap on it, I will try to print two things. One is weight variable, another one is height variable, where we already created it. If you could remember, we have created up here, right? So we are rendering this, that's all. So what we'll do, we'll come here, we'll set the height to 104 and weight to 55, and click on calculate your BMI, which will give you height and weight which we have defined, right? So exactly like this we are getting the value. So I think we are calling the same thing. It should be an height, it's not width. I was like, why it is coming same value? Fine. Now if I try to recalculate it, we'll get an height and a weight which we defined it in the slider, and also the number. The number is easily catchable, right? So what we'll do, we'll write a method in the BMI calculator brain. What is the method? The method is to calculate the BMI. Use this height and width and calculate. How can we calculate? We write a method that should return a string that is nothing but a results. So let it be not results. Let's create a normal function which is basically calculating. Okay. So what's the formula? First thing, what's the formula? The formula is simple, the weight divided by height in centimeter power of square, right? So which will be given in the value of double, the values will be there in the decimal. So let it be a res, that is nothing but results. So the formula is weight divided by height, which should be in the centimeter, which means that should be divided by 100. Before that, you have to know this whole square you have to do. To get the whole square, we can get that from the math dart.math. We will get there, it will provide you the functionality of giving square. So you'll write height by 100 and to the power of square. Okay, the moment when we get, what we have to do is, I'll just try to print it and show you how this will work. So I'll go inside this home screen. Right here I'll create an object for a BMI brain called BMI, which is equals to BMI brain. We can directly use BMI dot calculator. Okay, it doesn't makes any problem, but you have to pass two things. One is height. The first one, it should be an height, which is an height, and second one is a width. It will be a width, sorry, weight, not width. I have been using width for the so long time, so don't misunderstand, it's a weight. So the next thing is saying it can't be defined in a type home state. Okay, where were we in home state? Yeah, okay, make sure this is goes first, just in case. Okay, then it's a BMI brain, sorry, that's the spelling mistake. So we want to print the BMI calculator. Okay, so let's create a one more variable called a double, which will hold the results, which is nothing but BMI dot calculate. So which should, it's a void, you can't so we made it as a void. So let's go back here and make it as a return type. We'll just give a return type, because void means it doesn't have any return type, so it is not true. Double is the return type. Okay, so let's return the res. Okay, if I come back to the home screen now, it will be solved, and let's try to print the result, which will be res. Okay, so the moment I change the value here and here also, I click on calculate, the result will be shown, which will be a double, and it has a lot of what do you call, the number of decimal points it has is lot. So let's make it as a 1. How can I do it? I can just write to string as fix, and we wanted 1. Okay, why it is throwing error? Because the return type we have given double. Let's change it to string. Why we are changing it to string? Because at the end of the time, the number that you are giving have to be in string. So here only we are making changes, that's all. So I'll go to home screen, where I've written double. Instead of that, I'll write string. It will solve an error, and if I try to go back and again calculate it, we'll get it in the single line. Okay, done. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying, like you're understanding what it means, right? Then let's try to change this number. Let's try to pass the thing that we got here to the next screen, that is screen of results. The result screen, what you are seeing, let's try to put it up here so that I can explain it properly. So we have a results, that is nothing but BMI calculate, so which is basically giving this. So in the result screen, I'm passing one thing that is called as BMI number. So let this BMI number, which is equals to the results So I'll go to result screen, which is in stateless. So where I can create, I'll just remove this unnecessary key constructor. I'll write a final keyword that is called as BMI number, and which is basically a string. Even it's a number, but we have to input out into the string, right? So we are basically turning it into the string, that's all. And we have to initialize that using the results screen constructor. We are telling that it's a required feature, a required, no at and all, just a required. And required what? It required this dot BMI number. Done. And it is throwing error because no constructor matching results with the matching argument. Okay, so we just have to reload it, that's all. And also the number here, what we have hard coded, let's change that number to results, that is build number. Okay, we just added there. So let's, instead of us making it this result, just go back, not here in the BMI, in the result. So here it should be the normal year results. Down right here, instead of number, we are giving a build number. Okay, now it's working. See, if I just go back and calculate however I wanted, you'll see the results. But we have to give a result accordingly. So what will be the result? If it crosses more than 23, it is normal. Less than this, it is overweight or over obese, something like this. So we have to provide a right data. So how can we achieve it? So let's go to the brain model that we have made. Here we have a calculate method which will give us a number. So next we want a two more property, that is a string, which is nothing but a result text or a title or a text, it is good. Then so this result text, what we want, we have to return a result, like if it is a normal, if it is a overweight or something, and based on what? Based on this result. So what we have to do, we have to keep this result outside and make sure it is, first let's keep this outside using a late keyword. Why do we use late keyword is because, I'll explain 1 minute. So if I don't write late and if I just try to initialize it, it will throw me error because it is not used in the constructor. But we are telling it is late because we are basically telling the code that the results we might get it little late. So we are just using a keyword late. And here what I want to do is, I just have to write if the result is greater than equals to 30, just equals to 30, then we are returning a string called obese. Clear? So we are returning a string called obese, make sure it ends. So same way we are doing it. Okay, it is throwing error because null can't be, yeah, exactly, we'll return it. So what did I do? Based on the results, based on the number, have given little condition, like if it is more than 30, let it be obese. If it is more than equals to 25, let it be overweight. If it is in case more than 18, it's a normal, or else it will be underweight. It is less than 18, which means nothing but a underweight. Okay, so, and we are returning every time a string, that we are clear. Next thing, so if you could see here the results, we can modify that results. Like how do I mean modify is, I'll come back in the home screen. In the home screen, if I get a build number, which is not home screen, it's a result screen, we'll get a build number, right? I can just write again come back here, BMI number as here I can just write a BMI number as, you can just redefine it as it's a string. So I can just operate on this, like I can just write BMI equals to something like some way, some new string I can define. I can change the number according to my wish. So I can just write. So to avoid accessing that, so what we'll do is we'll just go here in the home BMI calculator. I'll just make this as private where I can only access here. So I'll just change this to the private everywhere. In the same way, I want to get this inter prediction value. So I'll just copy the same thing. Copy the same thing, come back down here. Okay, I've just not copied properly. Just copy it, everything back down, paste. Instead of get result, I'll write get prediction results. Get inter prediction. So here the same way, but in a different, instead of writing obeys, we'll write you have much higher than the normal weight, try to exercise. So here is the code. So what I just did is I gave a string, I have written the string based on the number they are getting. So let's try to use this in the result screen. How can we do it? We'll go to home screen. The moment when they click on this, we are getting a calculation that we already did here. What we want to get is two things. One is a title, that is a result title, which we will get it from the BMI dot result text. And the same thing, I can get one more text, that is an something called as interpretation, which is just a statement. So I'll just write a BMI dot get interpretation. So I'll just copy this. I'll go to the results kit where I'll add the two more final things, that is a string, which is a basically string. One is interpretation and another one is a result text. Result text, which will be here. In the home screen, whatever the name that you have given, try to use the same. Result title, we'll use the same thing, and I'll just write it is required to get this dot interpretation, or also this dot result title. So we'll just have to replace it with the thing that we have hard coded here. Instead of this, I'll write, it's called interpretation, and the results will be with the title. We don't want to keep this title. What it is as named as result title, sorry. Why it is throwing error now? So it can't be null. So okay, we have not given a required, so that's why it is throwing an error. So we want a written title, make sure it is separated and formatted better. Fine. So it is all sorted, no errors, nothing. We just have to test this. So before that, just restart it once again, the app. So I'll just keep a random one. I'm hoping it will be okay. It's obeys. So let's try to recalculate it. Let's try to be like a normal one. 120 and the range. Okay, I'm sorry. I gave a range of like a 10 to 100. The range should be different. The range should be 120 to 220. So I'll just go and search for the slider. Okay, here I have given a slide as 110, so I'll just make it as 120. Just refresh it, you don't have to worry. Okay, here we are from 122. The number, okay, if I just give some kind of number and calculate this, we'll get a normal. Fine, either I can click on this or a button. Let me get a base, I mean not obese, underweight or something, by reducing it. Yeah, underweight. So here we complete a entire app where we took 2 classes about the UI, because it's very important to get started with UI, like a better idea. If you know UI properly there, the implementation of logic is quite simple and straightforward. So let's see you in the other classes, other videos. Let's talk about more.